Tech Podcast presented by OpSite Energy. Today we are live from Inductive Automation's Data Center Discovery Day in Washington, D.C. Joining the show, we have Nivea Martinez, project engineer at ATS Industrial. Guys, welcome to the show.
Hey, Jeff, it is good to be here in Tysons, Virginia. I'm your co-host, Mike Flores, with the Energy Tech Podcast. And of course, we've got a great guest with us, Miss Nivea Martinez with ATS on the industrial side of the company. Nivea, good to have you on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so, I saw you setting up today, with the team. And, we're both here at Data Center Discovery Day. And, Ignition puts on these events in order to really encapsulate what people are doing with data center. And some of it is Ignition, but there are times, where you have folks like yourself that are in that OT space, and you have some challenges that you have, and I want to talk about those in a minute. Before I do any of that, I would like for you to just kind of share with listeners and viewers what your role is with ATS. Exactly, what do you do there?
Yeah, of course. So at ATS, I started in October 2025. I started as a project engineer.
Yeah.
Specific for in-house software products that would assist our project engineering team. And then I kind of pivoted toward an IT role just internally to our industrial team. And so I communicate with ATS in general. We have a pretty well equipped IT and OT team.
Okay.
So for our industrial team, I'm kind of the liaison between both of those teams. Okay.
Yeah. So you would say that you're the OT boots on the ground person that articulates what's happening in the OT space with the, let's say, whether that's the equipment itself and its installation in the OT layer, right? And then it sounds like you work with teams in both IT and infrastructure to get all of that passing, not just the data flow, but the infrastructure, right?
Yeah, I would say for the most part, I worked with IT primarily. And as our projects build and grow, then I'll be shifting more to OT.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Right now, do you serve, who would you say your biggest customers that you serve directly? Is it building automation? Is it data center? Is it a certain type of customer?
Yeah, right now our biggest customer is definitely data centers.
Okay.
Our team specifically is pivoting toward power gen and manufacturing.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely data centers right now.
So in data center right now, it sounds like, I noticed you were setting up the booth and stuff, and based on your role, it sounds like you do get your hands in on the equipment stack that you have in the OT space.
Yeah.
So tell me about that right now. Tell me about some of the things that ATS is doing in terms of the OT layer. Like, hey, Mike, these are things that we're implementing right now in the data center. No secret sauce, just in general, we're implementing an AB. Let's say, in the data center, we might be implementing AB. We might be using an edge device. Maybe there's a specific protocol like MQTT or something that you guys are leveraging. Kind of walk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, I would say in terms of the equipment side, I don't deal too much with that, but I can say, speaking to our demo, we do use a lot of Rockwell products,
right,
as you've seen here, and then specifically with this demo, we have an Allerton integration as well. So
okay,
putting that into Ignition. I think one thing that we're really trying to make unique to our team is we really want our shiniest product to be Ignition, setting that foot forward.
Yes.
With all clients, and then just showing them how we can integrate almost anything to Ignition and use that power. And then in terms of what I do on client side or client facing, I would say the gateway deployments is what I usually handle. So we do use MQTT, specifically kind of a new software stack to us. So Chariot, if you've heard of that.
Correct. Yeah, seriously.
And just kind of choosing between I know Kubernetes has a pretty good documentation alongside Ignition, but I deal with those kind of things as well.
Okay, so it sounds to me like now you're throwing in a little Kubernetes. So what I'm hearing is a little containerization that you guys are doing.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Okay, so you're doing a little bit of containerization. Are you guys doing this at the edge on the container side? In other words, hey, we're implementing an Allen Bradley PLC. Mm-hmm. Now what we want to do is we want to talk to that Allen Bradley using a native driver from something like Ignition, right? And then after that, I want to carry that over. Either you're going to do that at the edge, or you're going to do that in a Kubernetes cluster and then carry that to the cloud, right? I mean, somewhere. So kind of walk us through that. Is that something that you guys are doing?
Yeah, so I would say we have our Ignition gateways integrates with our equipment. and we have a specific team for that as well on equipment, PLC,
Yeah.
ladder logic kind of things.
Yes.
And then we have on our industrial team, we kind of have a software engineering team.
Yes.
And we have all familiar with Docker, so we containerize all of our gateways, and then we manage those deployments, especially with data centers. It's such a large scale. So all of those containers, we can't be running Docker run for every single one.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or Docker compose up. But so we try to integrate like platform stacks like Nomad, Kubernetes, Terraform, things that would not only manage resources but manage the deployments as well.
Yeah. So now you're talking about software as code, right? So that way you have a quick implementation if you're going to do that with, let's say, Kubernetes. You mentioned earlier. So I guess what I'm hearing is what you're responsible for. It sounds to me like you're kind of more like that traffic police with your teams. In other words, to make sure this is getting integrated at the edge. And if you guys are doing that on the container side, it sounds like you've got multiple sites you're responsible for, right?
Yeah, I would say we have multiple, a large scale of gateways we're responsible for. But for my team, I have a software engineering background, so anything that I can perform with scripting, I'm usually on hands with. So IT, awesome abilities with scripting, but Ignition too, Python scripting.
Are you finding now more and more with Ignition the value? Because it sounds like what I'm hearing is infrastructure as code. So that means you're going to write a script, whatever that is. You're going to make it easier if you're using YAML files, whatever the case is, to implement, right? To make it easy. Do you find, for you, what is your biggest challenge in managing a lot of gateways? Is it, hey, Mike, we're having an issue with the throughput, or is it deployment? Have you guys found solutions to deploy multiple gateways quickly?
Yeah, I guess our solutions for multiple gateways, the biggest problem we have is I guess the platform stack is just so hands-on and such new products and deployments and things we haven't really worked with before, specifically when our team is so specific to PLC. So just like right now, our services starting up correctly, error checking, like if our services and resources are properly managed, things of that sort.
Are you, in your background, are you also part of the group that maybe handles some of the load balancing? Do you do some of the load balancing for the gateways or not really?
I guess my team does. Me specific, no, I don't. But yeah, we definitely have an issue with resources at this current moment, just the power of each gateway and managing that as well.
Wow. So let me ask you this. Right now, it sounds like you manage multiple sites. You manage what could be multiple customers. If you could say right now, Mike, I think our biggest challenge is X. What is that?
Right now, I think our biggest challenge is finding a way to manage resources, and because honestly, it's just such a big, like you were saying, load balancing, such a big load on each. Say there's maybe like 100,000 tags coming through one gateway.
Yes.
We are having some trouble, like even with Nomad or Docker, just understanding how to optimize those resources that we're giving it and kind of not take away from anything else. Yeah,
I got it. So sometimes you do have where you might deploy multiple front-end gateway. You might have a gateway deployment, right, that covers so many units, so many tags. So it sounds like that is one of the things you're looking at along with load balancing. Let me ask another question. What are your customers asking for? Or does the challenge you talk about similar, or is it different?
Yeah, I guess our customers specifically are asking for, from my team, kind of a deployment strategy and script.
Yeah.
So how we're managing to deploy all of these gateways, managing our kind of the methodology that we're planning to execute for them. Yeah.
Got it. All right. I'm gonna pivot over to one last topic because I think this is important right now, and you're hearing about it. How do you feel AI is coming your way right now, even in the OT space that you work in?
Yeah, specific to my job or like the tools I use, I think AI is definitely a great tool for us, and I kind of see it taking over a lot of tasks that might be kind of menial and honestly maybe even troubleshooting for a lot of the commands.
Yes.
Which is kind of funny because I always think to myself like, wow, AI is really like when I see like me or my coworkers like maybe looking up a Linux command or
Yes.
troubleshooting
Yeah.
on there, I think of, wow, AI is really building itself.
Yeah, no, it is. I think
Yeah.
you're right. So it sounds to me like you're not just getting away from the, let's say, the regular user interface or even the CLI. It's almost like infrastructure as code is something that AI is going to leverage, or you can leverage AI for infrastructure as code. So you're spending less time having to figure out part of your deployment, right? And so in doing that, what are you excited about with that? Like,
Well, with that, I think AI is like even in school, such a resource when you're really trying to understand a concept. And I think a lot of problems in like in any engineering field is just being able to communicate to, like, say, a new engineer or a new hire, a technical subject.
Yeah.
And so AI can really break it down for them and kind of learn like that communication boundary, whether between clients or VMs.
yeah.
And so I do enjoy that tool. I think obviously there's some like shortcomings to it. People don't know how to write emails, things of that sort. But
Yes.
yeah, I do see it. It is scary how it is building its own data center at this point. We ask
Yeah.
it so many questions, but yeah, I really think it's a great tool and makes us work a lot faster.
Awesome. Final question, because we both got to go. But what do you hope to get out of today?
Today, yeah, I have a personal interest in OT and cybersecurity, like I told you.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to talk to, get some opinions on what people's understandings of cybersecurity in the data center field look like.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, with that, it was great having you on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
See, this went quite quicker than you thought. And again, we love having you. Thank you so much. And again, this is Nivea Martinez with ATS and the Industrial Group. Thank you so much for being on the show.
having me.
And it looks like we're going to have you guys back for a second one. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe if you watch, and post any comments. We'll definitely take those in. And again, I'm your co-host with the Energy Tech Podcast, Mike Flores, right here in Tysons, Virginia.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That was great.